The Wall Street Warrior by Dave Liu provides some tips and tricks of maneuvering the corporate world, specifically that of Wall Street. Obviously, on this channel, we're focused more on entrepreneurship, having that business mindset. However, a lot of the stuff in here actually applies to what we talk about in that whole roaches to wrenches mindset. First things first, I only got this book because it was free. Had it not been free, I probably would have never picked it up, but it is what it is. Got it for free. And also, this will not be a comprehensive review of everything. I'm going to just go over some things that stood out to me. So to go from beginning to end, the structure of this book follows the structure of a traditional career. What you do before you get the job, how you get the job, when you get the job, and then throughout your career until retirement. Most of y'all who have stuck with me over the years most likely know that I used to be a mobile mechanic. Part of being a mechanic and also having your own business is that you need to sell your service properly. And part of that process involves selling yourself as well. Well, how do you do that? I quote, "Focus on establishing credibility by being upfront and direct about your credentials and accomplishments." But again, some people forget that. They think it's all about price. I made this mistake at some points in the past. Because when it comes to what I was doing before, everybody's prices are the same. You can only lower your price so much and incentivize customers to purchase your service like that. But again, it gets to a point where what if everybody's price is the same? Everyone's selling the same thing. That's when sales come in. You got to sell yourself. And look, sometimes when you're trying to get your foot in the door somewhere, it's not necessarily a good idea to make yourself look infallible. You got to show that you have some flaws, because you are a human being after all. People might look at you as if you got something to hide. I quote, "So if you take too long to answer when asked about your biggest weaknesses, that makes me think you're probably a narcissist, a sociopath, or both. So make sure you know your weaknesses, or at least have good answers. Don't hesitate before answering." And look, man, that's the thing. Before you enter a deal, you got to plan ahead. You got to go over what could potentially unfold. You have to simulate it in your mind. What could I be asked? This will most likely not be an issue if you're legit. And speaking of being legit, it's also not just about the work you're putting in. You got to let people know you're putting in that work. You have to let the people around you know you're putting in that work and know that that what's being produced is coming from you. I am talking about a group situation here. So I quote, "Don't be that person everyone looks at and wonders why the hell you're sitting at the table." So that's of the utmost importance to do when you're working with a group, whether it's in your own entrepreneurial ventures or working with others, or if you're working for somebody else. Another good point he made here is that when somebody invests in you, whether you, let's say you're working for a company, you are a sunk cost. They are investing in you. With that being said, it's important to not only acknowledge that, but to use it to your advantage. If you make a mistake, cool. You're a work in progress. That's your defense, okay? When somebody invests in a business or in a stock, you're not going to sell it right away. It takes time for it to mature. In the same way, you're an asset. So that's pretty much all. I'm not doing a comprehensive review. Again, The Way of the Wall Street Warrior by Dave Liu. First half of the book, I got a lot more out of that. Second half was a lot more anecdotes, and I guess it was a lot more recent in the author's memory. So, take that for what you will. I didn't get a whole lot from the second half of the book, but good book. I'd recommend it. Again, it was about what I expected. The author here, he's not quite of a mindset guru. He's not one of those guys talking about mindset, this and that. So I have nothing against those who want to inspire others, but anyone who has half a brain can kind of see through it pretty easily, that there's not really a significant amount of value being provided at those types of discussions. That was not this book, at least not for the most part. It was a pretty easy read, a little comical at times, and I hope you got a little something out of my half-assed review. As for now, I'm grinding. I hope you all are doing the same. You all stay strong, stay healthy, stay inspired. I'm out. God bless.